Okay. Alright, so we're gonna do it's not tarot because I don't have tarot deck because I know how to do tarot. So we're just gonna do some kind of reading for the collective. Those who are kind of like going through some kind of awakening, I guess, on whatever level that is for you. So these are the cards. Yeah, anyway, I'll show a bit of me. Yeah, let's get that a little bit stable. Okay, so yeah, just had some cacao, did some Palo Santo, put some nice music on. Do you know what I mean? All right, so we're gonna start with the Angels and Ancestors deck. Right. So, what messages do we have from Spirit? This is for the collective right now. It's for whoever's watching this, whoever's listening. There's something in here for you guys. So, let's see what it is. Alright. Let's just keep shuffling these bad boys. What is here for the collective? What is here for the collective? Something good. Whoa, two geezers just flew out here. Oh, 3 geezers. Right. Let's see. I guess we want that. We want to have this one first. This one second and this one third. Oh, okay. So we got the moon. Take note of intuitive messages. I don't know. Is that gonna pick that up? Second card we got is the White Witch. Be the light. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or what. And then we got Winter. Take care of your needs. Take care of your needs, bro. So, let's read a book about it. Why not? Alright. Seeing as 3 cards popped out, we might as well do a little 3 card spread in it. So, Wagwan with the free live spree card spread. So the first card is strengths and gifts that you have in this situation. Right, so let's see. Intuitive messages. We do have some kind of lunar activity, some kind of lunar activity coming up this week. I think there's a full moon. I've got it written down somewhere, but there's a full moon, and it's supposed to be some big things going full moon. Do you know what I mean? Look it up. Like, there's all kinds of stuff. I'm not an expert on these things, but I am interested. So, right, here we go. Strengths and gifts that you have in this situation. Right, the moon. I love this. Just chatting absolute shit. Right. Take note of intuitive messages. Use your intuition, practice discernment, see through illusions and blockages. So the moon is strongly associated with the divine feminine and the energy of receiving. If the sun is God, the moon is goddess, and so she offers powerful energy and polarity and balance. She has cyclic energy and therefore strongly connected to emotions, which often come and go in waves into somewhat interesting behaviour. So when the moon appears in a reading, you're often being told that not everything is as it seems. The moon has a dark side, just dark, not negative, and can show you what you've been kept in the dark about. Lunar energies are surrounding your life, allowing you to understand what is standing in your way. Not everything is as it seems, and you're being guided to use your discernment. When the moon appears, intuitive or psychic urges are increased, so take note of any feelings arising at this time. They are messages from your soul and angels. The moon shines her light on all that has been kept in the dark. So ask yourself if you're avoiding anything or refusing to deal with something of importance. If so, it could be holding you in the shadows when your destiny is to be in the light. If this card appears when you feel someone isn't being completely real with you, know that their intentions will be revealed to you. The moon has no secrets, she reveals all. Maybe that's why when people reveal their bums in public, it's called mooning, because it reveals all. So that's the strengths and gifts, is your intuition at the moment and about your emotions. The next card is your heart. What does your heart want you to know about this situation? This is a white witch, be the light. So, using your strength of being in tune with our intuition to highlight emotions that are veiled to us, we can now use the heart card to tell us what we need to know, and that's be the light. So take the higher road and choose the light. Remove yourself from lower energy experiences. This is interesting. This connects really well because, you know, you're using your intuition to feel something that you haven't felt, but also when are you giving too much energy to something? When do you just remove yourself? Like, you know, sometimes it's like that discernment is really tough to tune into. I struggle with this. This is a thing for me right now. Like, who am I giving my time and energy to? Why am I wasting my time and energy on someone who can't receive it? It could just be with an interaction with someone, you know, even just a friend or something, just a quick one, just trying to explain something. They're not wanting to see your perspective. So when do you just stop, like trying to convince, just going on, you know? Or do you need to play that out to figure out that they're someone who can't be reasoned with, and then you learn through trying. Maybe you need to try a few times before you give up. And giving up's okay, by the way. Everyone's always like, keep fighting, keep doing stuff. It's like, don't fucking waste your time on some shit that's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? So, the White Witch card represents the maiden aspects of the triple goddess of paganism and modern Wicca. The maiden is a gentle, innocent, and pure aspect of the goddess, a loving soul who wants nothing but the best for the whole earth. Here she's joined by a horned owl, showing that she's willing to respect those with more wisdom and experience than she has, but she's also willing to trust what she feels to be right within. With this card, you're being reminded of the goodness within. Interesting, really aligned with the intuitive messages card, you know, tapping into your own intuition. Yes, you can be humble enough to learn from someone else, but, you know, really owning what you know to be true. Your inner compass knows when something's on and when something's off, and you really tune into the gut area specifically, and it's like, oh god, you know, everything could be saying yes, and then something in you's like, I don't know, and we often just ignore that voice, or we run with it, but we don't always unpack why. That's fine too. Sometimes you just run with your instinct and it all unfolds as it's meant to, but it's nice to actually inquire, like, what is that? Why is that? You know, it could be something simple that you're just overlooking. And the more this habit's kind of practiced, the more it just becomes second nature. It's like you always kind of want to unpack things, but also know when it's okay to just let something be without analyzing the fuck out of it, which is something I'm still clearly learning. um, anyway, no matter what's happening to you or around you, you have a choice. Choose not to be pulled into dramas. That's exactly what I was saying. Bickering or energies that are just going to limit your like fucking bang on. And it's like a message to myself, basically. Let me turn this Japanese music down. So yeah, if you're surrounded by people who are hostile towards you or someone else, or you're in a negative situation, perhaps your workplace, maybe even where you live in, I don't know, you've been invited to be the light. You're an incredible person who can really bring the light. So how can you change the energy? It's the Indian light bulb thing coming out of me. Changing light bulb. Channel my ancestors. Okay. um, how can you change the energy? How can you redirect the conversation to love? How can you protect yourself? Or how can you help the person that is being picked on? Or are you the one who's guilty of causing a drama? Who knows, right? All these questions, just worth exploring them all. You'll know the answers. Know also that you're being encouraged to shine the light you were born to share. For me personally, what's coming up like with this is, just choosing when and who to spend this energy with, like that discernment. So yeah, that's really in line with the first card. The last card is challenge. So what you need to heal or work on in order to grow. Right. So that's the winter card. All right. So what we need to heal or work on in order to grow from this thing. Do everything you need to be at your best. What? Do everything you need to be at your best. Do everything you need to be at your best. Then move beyond your fears and limitations. I think it's. Yeah, let's keep reading. So, for many of the animal realm, winter is a time of hibernation and retreat. You may wish to curl up in a ball too. I've been feeling this lately. But although you may not feel as bright as you'd like to be, a primal force within is encouraging you to continue. The winter card features a wolf, one of few animals that stay active all year round. Wolves know what it's like to work alone or thrive within a pack. So if you feel you need to go it alone this time, know that the wolf medicine will help you move beyond your insecurities and relax in your own space. Yeah, interesting. Aligns with the discernment as well, when to move out, when to stay in, replenish yourself, rejuvenate. You have an opportunity to move beyond your fears, although you may feel in the dark. Get comfortable with being in the unknown. Bang on. This is bang on for me right now. I don't know who else this is helping, but this is bang on for me. Like, it's literally this, Just becoming comfortable with not knowing all the next steps. And there's a lot of freedom in that and a lot of trust. So get comfortable with being in the unknown. Trust that the light within you will sustain you through what may seem a challenging process. Ask yourself what you need to do to feel supported and alive. What do you need to do to feel supported and alive? Doing this is kind of making me feel alive a little bit. Drinking cacao. I like drinking cacao. You may uncover something from your past that you have buried deep. No, I mean, similar to the previous one, right? The, emotions, the moon and stuff shining light on darkness. Know that when you unearth it and shed light on it, you create space for miracles. You may feel like a lone wolf right now, but it's time for you to be the alpha. Motherfucking alpha, yo. Yeah, that ain't me. I mean, we can all be alpha. I'm just alpha appears in different ways, right? It's not always like, yo. I mean, it can be, but sometimes it's like, hey, I'm unapologetic me. If you think this is weak for me being all nicey nice, it's money, that's on you. But I'm gonna keep doing it anyway. Like it or leave it, lump it, shake it, whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. When the winter card arrives in the future position of the spread, or at least the last card in a reading, which it was, it can also indicate that the coming winter will usher in important energies with regards to your question or intentions. Interesting, interesting. So my question or my intention for this reading initially was actually to trust more, and it seems like winter will be a deep process for that. This particular winter, which is just around the corner, we're just stepping into autumn soon, or fall for anyone listening in America. So yeah, it's interesting cards here. Very wintry energy coming through. The moon, the witch, the white witch, the owl, yeah, it's nice vibes. All right, 17 minutes just talking about oracle cards. This is cool. Who needs tarot? I'd like to learn tarot. All right, so next we're gonna go with divine abundance oracle cards. What message do we have at the moment for this collective? Let's see what's poppin', y'all. Something for the collective. Little message. Okay. Detachment. Oh, I love this card, and I've never seen it before. It's very beautiful. I don't know how much of that you can see. Very beautiful card. Never seen it before. It's got like a woman in a sari on a giant crow. I think it's a crow. So with detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. This has actually been coming up for me a lot lately. It's always when you let go of something, it's when you get it. You know, I could tell you a million times that's happened in my life. So, yeah, I prefer the words non-attachment to detachment, because detachment feels like you really have to completely not care about the outcome of something, and I think non-attachment appeals more to me because it's like you know you're fine with or without the desired outcome, but you're still honoring the fact that you have a desired outcome, and you can act on whether or not this desired outcome is being fulfilled, and choose differently, you know, in alignment with having your desires fulfilled, but not from a sense of lack or need, just from a sense of expression. So, I mean, this is like spirituality 101 shit, and people already know this stuff, but like, yeah, you let go of something, you trust that's when it's fulfilled. So, I think that's the focus of that there, but it doesn't say don't have the desire, right? That's the important thing. It says, with detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's when it's often fulfilled. Nowhere in that is it saying don't have a particular desire. It's not denying that at all. And it's saying it does get fulfilled when you detach from it. So how can it get fulfilled when you detach from it if it's no longer there? It's still there. You still want it. You just don't mind if it doesn't, if you don't get it. And if you don't get it that way, maybe you'll find a different way of getting it. So I think that's what always comes up. Like I remember when I was at a museum exhibition about Buddhism, and there was a statue of a tantric statue of the Buddha. I think that some kind of eroticism. And someone was walking past and they were like, I don't understand, because the Buddha's all about not having desires. And then here he is, like with his wife and having sex and all this. And like, I really felt this urge to go over and talk to them, but I didn't, because I was in museum zone. But I'm hyper observant, so I picked it up. But you know, it's not that the Buddha didn't have desires. In fact, it's all about following your desires. Actually follow them, let them play out, and just don't be too surprised if it doesn't work out how you plan. That's all. It could work out in a completely different way, or it's already working out for you in the way that it's not seemingly working out for you in the moment. On a zoomed out scale, in the long term, it is working out for you. So yeah, anyway, like I said, spirituality 101 kind of stuff. But common misconception is to let go of your desires. No, fucking jump into them head first, I say. Right, let's do Rainbow Brain Skull. It's a nice deck. Got this nice, can you see this cool rainbow kind of glare on the side, which is sexual. Okay. What do we have for this collective reading for myself and for those tuned into the same frequency as me, as it seems we're on the same wavelength? Yes, we are. Ooh, 2 flew out. Very much flew out. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Right, so we got 2. We got evolve into a non-complainer, which is such a beautiful image. I love that. And then big mixed barrel of emotion, which is also very pretty card. Yes. Alright, so let's read 60 first, which is evolve into a non-complainer. Alright, the highest vibration one can achieve is to be okay with any outcome. Just like the detachment card. Like the monk. Can't make this stuff up. Like the monk from all those stories would often say after any bad thing happened. So. Yeah. Alright, I mean, self-explanatory, right? You know. You don't complain as much, you just act. Because complaining has an internal energy. There's one thing to vent and express and gain support through that, but you know when you're complaining because you're constantly saying the same thing internally or to other people all the time, and then it's not changing. So you're like, well, I'm just complaining now. I'm not actually, not. There's a productive version of complaint, which is like officially, formally complaining in order to make change. But there's the complaining energy of like just complaining without resolution, unless the purpose of it is cathartic, it is to vent. but then it's supposed to help remove that energy and then move on, like not to compete, keep it going, so yeah, I think complaining is an interesting thing, but moving on quickly as well, I think, which probably does align with the energy of the 3 card spread as well, being discerning, knowing where to put your energy, knowing when to withdraw, and then just moving on, just knowing, okay, this isn't going where I thought it would. Okay, I've accepted that's what's happening here. Let me go hibernate or do whatever the hell I need to do. Right, next one, 63. Big mixed barrel of emotion. You don't have to label what you're feeling, just be present with it. What is most important is not trying to escape or avoid your reality. That's a beautiful card. I love that. I think it kind of ties in slightly what we said earlier about, allowing these things to come up, these emotions, but not identifying with them, not labeling them. You can label them, but you don't have to. You can just feel it. Oh, well, there's a feeling. What if it wasn't positive or negative? What would it be saying? And sometimes it's just an energy. It's just like doesn't have. It just wants to move or express or sit, relax, like expand or contract. It's quite a great practice actually to drop these labels. It's great. Labels are useful to help you disidentify from something and see it as outside of yourself, but also that's a very, like, in some of the Hindu paths, there's the path of like disidentifying as awareness, seeing things as outside of yourself, but then there's also the tantric path, which is merging with, becoming one with, and that's also a labeling if that's the word, but unlabeling process, because you're merging with it. How can you label it if you're not separate from it? You can't. Like you just merge with it, and then you become one with it. You're just purely present when you're feeling it. You're not trying to avoid it, like this card is saying. So, and then both ways you tap into your resilience, because it's just passing, and you can handle it. Ultimately, it's just telling your nervous system you can handle this, because you're not avoiding it. You're looking at it or you're diving into it. Either way, you're not avoiding it. You're fine, and you fundamentally are not it, although it is a part of you and needs to be validated, but not identified with. Don't give it that power. A lot of people use a lot of labels, and they can be useful, and I'm not denying them, but internally at some point they need to be dropped. Externally they can still be used for practicality purposes. For example, do I identify as a meat eater or carnivore or vegan or vegetarian? No, none of these things. However, when I go out to eat, in the last few years I haven't been eating meat. There's no particular reason for this. It's just a bodily guidance that's currently happening. But when I'm in a restaurant or I'm talking with friends and they're asking me what I'd like to eat, if I have any diets or any allergies or anything, I just tell them I'm vegetarian. Do I believe I'm a vegetarian? No. But I just tell them that because it's easier and it's practical. It saves me a lot of explanations. I'm like, cool, that's it, I'm vegetarian. But internally, I have dropped this label. I could eat meat any day. I'm not identified by it. Therefore, I'm free of it. I'm free of any. If I go somewhere and I eat something and it turns out I had meat in it, I'm not freaking out, because I'm like, you know, not overly identified either way, you know, and that's that kind of like, you know, going back to detachment, non-attachment, you know. You feel free of either outcome. That doesn't mean you can't still be annoyed by it and express that, but in the end, it doesn't really move you that deeply. And if it does, it's just an emotion that needs to be not avoided, basically. So, see, I don't know how I got into all that, but anyway, we're just going to end here with a connection card. So these connection cards, they're actually designed to connect someone with a partner, a loved one. But I think they're also a great way to connect yourself, you know. Let's contemplate the question internally. So there's 5 piles. I'm going to roll a die here to choose a colour. Alright, so I think we've got this slightly greenish colour, which is this little mini deck. So what's in the collective for myself, or anyone who's on this same frequency, anything you need to contemplate or to tune into that will help us. Right. Okay. So the question is, what I really admire about you is, which is a nice card. So we're going to reframe this question, and this is kind of like, I don't like the word homework, but call it home play. Yeah. So what I really admire about me is, that's the reframing, right? So you ask it to yourself. Yeah. What I really admire about me is, and write it down. Write down what you love about yourself. You know, make a list, and actually you'll probably find the things that you love about yourself are things that draw you to other people sometimes. Maybe not all the time. Sometimes we're drawn to aspects of people that we don't embody, but sometimes we do. So it might help you bring in someone to your life, maybe a friend or a colleague or a partner that you're kind of wanting to manifest, or maybe you'll help cultivate this more within yourself. You know, what do I like about myself? I like these qualities about myself. When was the last time I felt these qualities or displayed them? Maybe one of them I haven't felt in a while. What can I do to feel that way? Maybe I like how playful I am, how childlike I am. Oh, I haven't felt that in a while. Maybe I'll go do something to tune into my inner child, like play a game from my childhood, or do an arts or craft activity, or dance or sing or something, you know, watch a cartoon, I don't know. But yeah, it's a great contemplation to do. So I think I'm going to go and do that myself now. That was today's experimental video reading thing. Yeah, I don't know if I'll upload this. If it is uploaded and you're watching it online, I hope you had a good time. Yeah. Alright, peace out, yo.